this has to be one thing. So you don't want to play, you're kind of playing, you're listening to one note at a time. So you want to get, so we got the sound, huh?
Yeah.
So now we need the rhythm of the musical idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, usually the phrase is 8 measures. So you know what? Nothing in music is shorter than 2 measures. Nothing. Nothing. 0. So that it's very, see, how you think about the music influences how you play. How you play influences how you think. So your problem here is you're thinking a little bit one note at a time, so it becomes very difficult. So if you think, I love you, all of that is one thing. They're not one note after another. The same thing as if I cut you up into 6 pieces. Is that you? No. This is you, not 6 different pieces. Okay? Same thing. Just try to do that. So, Arsis. Yeah, it comes from Greek.
Yeah.
All of the music is based on this idea. So, Arsis is something that goes up.
Yeah.
Thesis comes to the rest. So, Arsis is like hello.
Yeah.
So, upbeat, downbeat. It doesn't mean that the strong beat is an accent. It's the result of movement. So, you have ta-ram, ta-ram. So the first beat is always the thesis. So this gives, I love you so, and if you don't believe, huh? So you're not, see, that's what I said. It's the sound, it's the idea, the rhythm of the idea, and the gesture, how we play. So see, you're not playing, there's a difference between arsis and thesis. Just as if there's a difference between, this is arsis, is breathe in, that's thesis. So it's a closure. Arsis, thesis. So, da-dum. I asked you what is sound. Now what did you say if I asked you what is music? For me, music is, I'll tell you, sound in motion. Now, how do we get the motion? The motion comes from, so you have, hello, goodbye. You wouldn't do hello, huh? So I just to get the hello. Your problem is, you know, like if you listen to jazz musicians, you know, they're feeling, what are they feeling when they're doing it? They're feeling arsis and thesis. It's the difference between upbeat and downbeat. Huh? They're not counting. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have, what we want to feel is the difference between this. Huh? So when you play this first note, it's good. Tell me your first name again? Nick.
Yeah.
It's Nicholas.
Yeah.
Nicholas. And your last name?
Nestor.
Nestoras. So I have to feel and not. So you know what? You would be surprised. See, we're trying to communicate, and this, if you know this, they're not secrets, but this is what being an artist is about. You have to know these kind of things. Okay?
Yeah.
Ta-dum. what happens here?
It changes the mood.
Yeah, and how does he change the mood?
Meaning the key.
Okay, the key, and what about the rhythm?
Oh, it also goes faster.
Yeah, so instead of, he could have written da 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 da, but he does ta-da, pa-dum, pa-dum. So it's, the slow one is always going to the fast one, the long one. The short is going to the long. This is the rule of it. It's, you know, pa-dum, 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 ta-dum, ta-dum, ta-dum. So, in my opinion, you have to show that. So your short note is too loud. It's not, you're not, you have to push it to the long one. The short has to be pushed to the long. And if I were you, I would go faster here. Also, da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You know, this is an idea now of the way people make the music, always playing like metronome. I'm sorry, but if you listen to people that were born in 19th century, how they play, they're not playing like metronome. And you know, I think if you listen to the great pianists like Paderewski and Cortot, all of these people, you know, there were less pianists at the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. But what was interesting is they all sound different. Now there's a lot, they all sound the same. Not good. Everybody's doing the same. It's like mass production, you know, it's, don't, you know, so and you know what? People are, you know, this idea that it always has to be the same tempo. You know, there's a book by a Swiss man, his name is Matisse Russi, and it's called Musical Expression. And he said, he's talking about the passion, you know, when you're expressing something passionate like this is a dream of love. I mean, this is not, you know, give me 1 kilo of feta cheese or something like that, you know, it's, come on. Or, you know, 10 olives and she's counting out the olives. So he says, you know, if there's more passion, you have to get faster. And now you see everybody's just always like metronome. And you know, it's a big book like this. You can buy it on the internet. Matisse Russi, Lussy. And you know what? The people that said, this is incredible, this book. This is exactly how you make music. Liszt, Rossini, Saint-Saëns, Gounod, Brahms. I mean, so, and now everybody says, no, always like metronome. Because it doesn't say in the score you have to do that. Look, see, try to make this movement like, you're jumping. Try to make it like, you know what is swivel? Swivel. Is there a swivel chair here?
Swivel. Okay.
No, there's not. It's like a chair that does this.
Okay.
See, don't jump, just swivel. Okay. Look, do this. Now, see, here you have to get a little, you know, and what makes the excitement is not that you start going like that, but that you play a little bit faster. It's too, you know, you're too asleep. And it has to be more, you know, like you're in a hurry or something. You're, you know, huh? See what I mean? Try to get the idea. First, you know what? Don't try to play just the notes without the music. You first have to look for the musical idea. And when you know what you have to do, what you want, then you know, did you read Alice in Wonderland?
But I've seen the movie.
Okay, I read Alice in Wonderland, but I didn't see the movie. Anyway, you remember when she's going and she's going along the road, and then she sees the Mad Hatter, and she said, "I'm lost." And he said, "Well, where do you want to go?" And she said, "I don't know." And then he said, "Well, then it doesn't matter." So, you know, if you're just playing the notes, you know, it doesn't matter what you, I mean, but you know, if you know where you want to go, then you find out how to do it.
Well, there's an Arab proverb which says, "The wind does not serve a boat going to no destination."
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So, see, this is ta-dum, pa-dum, pa-dum. That's reading the score. Not reading the score saying, there's nothing here, or, you know, this is this note or that. That's not reading a score. Reading a score, this is a masterpiece, is getting the idea. So here we're getting excited. So ta-dum, pa-dum. So once you have that, then you know, I have to do the swivel. Great. Great. Go. Keep going. Go forward. Don't stop. No, poco crescendo. So getting more and more intense and agitated. I mean, I thought you were about to fall asleep when you first played it. You know, that's not, you know, you're sitting so agitated, you know, I was like, you know, should I wake him up or call the ambulance or what? Is he going to fall asleep? Or, you know, and then we have to do something, the police will come. And, okay? So you have to, I mean, and look, and it's just go like a bat out of hell. Go. Now go, boom! Go, take it away. So you get all these special harmonies. Somehow that, you know, you have to, look, we're high. We're way up here. We're high. We're high. Does that mean something to you if I say that? We're high? No, you're too young. You're high.
You mean that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's high, you know, so it's not like, and it sounds like, that's not high. You know, you're not high, okay? With pedal. Ooh, where am I? You're not. Ooh, I see. It's we don't know where you are. Again, and the surprise, because after this chord should come this. But instead of this, he gives us, you know, so I mean, that has to be, the idea of that is we get this, instead it's a surprise. to hear this harmony and be a little bit more generous with this chord. So, you know what your problem is? You count. You know, don't count. You know, it's not. I mean, it's, you know, like 1, 2, 3. I mean, you know, you understand? Feel it. See, I mean, can you hear? It's terrible, you know what? It's not mathematics test or something. But it has to have movement. So if it's too static, you know, the audience doesn't want to listen to you. You know what? We're playing for ourselves, but we're you know what is our job? Our job is communication. You know, if you're not communicating anything,